What's crick? It's already open. Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to my Yeti is way over there. To be Tuesday, and so we're gonna look at the Asylum. This is my last Asylum film. I hope the other ones aren't from Asylum because I've had enough. Transmorphers, which I promised in the last one, and I wish I didn't because this was terrible. More so than the other ones, I'm thinking The Fall of Man, the prequel sequel. Yeah, it's weird. There was a movie called The Fall of Man, like Transmorphers: The Fall of Man, which is a prequel. Because they tell a story of what happened, and then it just cut to 300 years later. Whereas that one is a prequel. Then there's the Beast Transmorphers or whatever. Transmorphers, Beast, whatever. Guess what that was supposed to be? It lies on Rise of the Beast. Anyway, yeah, this is directed by Lee Scott. I don't know who that is. Written by her, then produced by David Michael Latt. Now it stars nobody I know except for one, Amy Weber, and only because she was JBL's image consultant on WWE for like 2 months or whatever it was, and left because she didn't like the way the things were working out. So, whatever. And you know what? As a ripoff of Transformers, this is pretty lame. Like, it's not even a ripoff of Transformers. Like, you see them transmorph a couple times in this, but they don't have enough budget to actually show a bunch of transmorphing creatures or robots. So you don't really see a lot of it. There's also many moments where someone will just yell out off screen, "They're changing!" But they can't show it to us because budget. Is there a budget for this? No, of course not. It's 85 minutes. Felt like 3 hours. Literally felt like it went on forever. Because nobody can fucking act in this movie but one guy. And I gotta give it to him. Matthew Wolf, sir. You are the best actor in this movie. And that's not saying much, but you are. He plays our hero, Warren Mitchell. He's our hero here. Yes. And there's even a twist with his character, which I figured out 5 minutes after being introduced to him because of what they do. And it acted like it's a big surprise. Apparently, Matty Buck, the film brain, he was caught off guard by this twist. But I was like, there's literally a scene earlier in the movie that shows you that whatever. I mean, come on, you watch this scene and you know it's a bad movie, but we'll get to it. So, when you start watching this, immediately you go, it's that Patrick meme. Because we start off by saying in 2009, so 2 years after this movie even came out, they found intelligent life on another planet. So we sent a message. 5 years later, they arrived. Which is weird because the prequel says it takes place in 2009. Even this says that. But no, according to this movie, they found intelligent life in 2009. And it said it took them 5 years to get there. So they can't even... And I'm not going to review the prequel sequel. I don't want to jump off a bridge. So... And I feel like if I continue with these... Let me get to the plot, and I got something to say. 2009, we make contact with an alien race. And 5 years later, they showed up and took over the Earth. And 300 years later, our people are now living underground, fearing from these robot creatures they call Z-bots. So, Matthew, he pointed out all the different films this movie's ripping off. Transformers, of which Transformers is the least, they are ripping off. Because if you tell from that description, it has nothing to do with Transformers. They change off screen most of the time, but other than that, nothing. They look nothing like Transmorphers. They all look the exact fucking same. Not one of them is different. And the plot, like, oh, they took over the Earth. Well, then why do they need to transmorph? Because the whole point of the Transformers is they land on present-day Earth, and they hide as cars to blend in. Like Optimus and the Autobots came to Earth to hide as a new home, and he was followed by the Decepticons. And that's where the war is. Why would they need to transmorph? Well, they do give reasons why they need to transmorph, but there's really no reason for it. There is no reason for it. But the ones I noticed one movie he didn't name, but he pointed out Transformers, The Matrix, Terminator 3, or Terminator, but it's specifically Terminator 3 is what it says. Even though that came out in 2003 and this is 2007. Whatever. I remember the other ones he mentioned. One he didn't mention was Aliens, which I got all of at the beginning of this when they set up the Marines to fight off these things. No. And this is 85 minutes of people standing there talking like this. I am acting, by the way. We need to do something. We have to fight them off. We need to send out troops. We need to take care of the Z-Bot. That's how they act. That's how all of them. And I said, the best actor in this is Matthew Wolff. He's giving it his all. He's like, I think it's his all. And the worst is Amy Weber. Because when she gets on screen, oh boy, you're glad she doesn't have... Well, she has a big role, but it's not that big, actually. She plays the ex-girlfriend of Warren's, who's now married to the general. And for some fucking reason, the writers of this movie thought that anyone in power, man or woman, should be called Sir or Mr. As they talk to this woman and say, Mr. Chairman, no, Madam Chairwoman. And yes, sir, to their general, who's a woman. Yes, ma'am. Why are they keep calling the women sir? I've seen it done another shit, and it still doesn't make any sense. It's a woman. You say ma'am, or madam, or miss. You don't call him sir. It's stupid. And they're acting, and you could tell this was low budget, not just because it was from the asylum, but the fact, the matter is, most of these scenes, you don't see a lot of the CGI action stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's just down underground in the bunkers. Like, for some reason, they decide to have a bunch of women fight with each other. Like, what is this for the plot? There's also a scene, and this is the scene I was talking about. Mitchell is like, okay, we're gonna train. To other guys, and like, okay, I'm gonna weed. There's a woman there too, but it's like, I'm gonna weed out the weak ones. He's like, okay, I'm gonna tell you without hesitate. I want you to not hesitate. Hit me, huh? I told you not to hesitate. You hit me. Hesitation means death. Now everyone, hit me. And it just becomes... This is where his Matrix thing comes in. And I went. And after this scene, because there's also a thing where they describe when they're bringing him back as using cryogenic freeze. They're like, well, he's not like the rest of us. He's different. I'm like, and then they do this. I'm like, so he's a robot, right? He's part robot. He's not human. Because based on that, whatever he just did, he's not human, right? And the twist in this is, no, he's not human. He's an android created by a scientist who likes to go this like all the time because they didn't actually give him a script, or he forgot what he was supposed to say. So he says this all the fucking time. Unless they were purposely trying to rip off Jeff Goldblum. That's all I can think of with that. Even that is annoying. Yes. No. And the plot is about putting something inside one of the aliens and sending it back to destroy the rest of them. That is fucking Independence Day. And the only time we see or hear about the Transmorphers, when we can see it really, is like, we can't find them. They don't know, 300 years and they don't know they can transform till now. The fuel cells that we need to do. Yeah. And at the beginning of this movie, they send the troops out. The troops are ambushed. And the guy's like, we need reinforcement. We need to fire shots at these guys. And he's like, ignore that order. Like, what? I said we need backup. I said ignore that order. If we do that, they'll find our location. So the general lady, Van Rydberg, allows her own people to die because she doesn't want to send out reinforcements because it'll give out your location. Who the fuck cares? Find somewhere else to hide. And if this works and you do take them out, I know they say they're indestructible, but they forget about that 5 minutes after they say it, so it doesn't really matter because they electrocute the shit out of these things and they eventually are destroyed anyway. Because of the Independence Day plot. Also, they borrow from another Roland Emmerich movie. It's constantly raining because they bad CGI. But it's in the side of the movie, so you know it's going to be bad CGI anyway. And they do that. In plot-wise, they say that when Z-Bots came, it messed with the atmosphere. So it's constantly raining. But then as soon as they destroy the Z-Bots, you know what? The rain goes away and the sun comes back pretty fucking quick. Which is not how it would work when it worked that quick. Like as soon as they're destroyed, the sun comes out and everything. And our beloved hero has to sacrifice himself, because of course he does. Because that's how these kind of movies work. There's a subplot with Amy Weber. I'm going to call her Karina. The wife who's married to the general. 2 women, and in 2307 or 2309 or 5 years, 2313, 14, 2314. By then, people might actually not be fucking stupid about it. Especially if it's in the military. Because, like, in the military, isn't that a no-no for you to be gay in the military? And it's the general and one of her soldiers. That's also a conflict of interest. But in the military, you can't have a relationship or anything, right? Is that the thing? I mean, I'm wrong. I watched Stargate, and there was a whole thing about how Carter and O'Neill couldn't be together because it's against the regulation or something. I don't know. Maybe by 2314, they abolished that. Must have. I'll never know what my great grandchild will. I mean, not that many greats. Great grandchild. 3 greats. Yeah. But yeah, and then as quick as it started, it ends. But it takes forever to get to the end because there's a bunch of bad dialogue scenes, and it's one thing if you have bad dialogue. And there's actors that can deliver that bad dialogue with some kind of rhetoric or some kind of humor or a way of doing it. And the only 2 actors in this try something different other than looking directly at a screen and reading off a cue card, probably, is what it is. Well, 3 if you count the guy who keeps going all the time and can't stop doing the all the time and or whatever and again, that could just be a slide of Jeff Goldblum. But I don't know. Because there's Mitchell. who is giving it his all. His sidekick dude also has a little bit better acting. And then there's this other girl, is it Lux or whatever, that has an attitude like this. She talks like this all the time. I don't remember who that is. Is that Lux or is that someone else? I don't know. But yeah, I don't. That's what I think. This is crap on toast. And then toast it again. And then crap on it and then toast it again. And then crap one more time. And you toast it one more time because there's just not enough shit in there. I should have said, I don't know. It's just not crusty enough. I need to buy a new toaster because you just put shit all over it. 3 times. My point is, this movie sucks. But you know that because it's made by the Asylum. And you sit there and you go, Scotty, you love the Sharknadoes movies. Yes, I do. I also liked Titanic 2 quite a bit. But that movie, you knew it was crap. This one feels like it's trying to be a serious film. It also makes me interested in trying to see the other one, Fall of Man, because it was written and stars Shane Van Dyke, which makes me think, hey, we might actually get some kind of entertainment here. Because for as badly written as the 2 that he did, that he wrote and directed, they're at least entertaining. Well, somewhat. Paranormal Entity, somewhat. But like, Titanic 2 was entertaining. You knew it was crap. But his performance was decent at most. This is, if you're gonna do a premise like this, it's like the problem I have with the Winnie the Pooh Blood Honey movies, right? That universe, the Pooniverse, or whatever. Have fun with it. Don't make it super fucking serious. And that's the problem with this. They decided that they needed to be super serious with it and take everything seriously. We need to be goofy, right? What if Leprechaun 4, which is an Alien ripoff in its own right, was just completely serious the whole time? And they just were about the Leprechaun, right? What if Jason X was taken super seriously and didn't have any kind of winks or nods to the stuff, right? That wouldn't work. Well, people don't like those movies anyway, but they wouldn't work. Hellraiser Hellworld, and that's another one, or Hellraiser Bloodline, it was also in space, was serious, but it also had its winky moments. Not that kind of winky. Wink, you know. This is crap. And it's crap that I just will not take. And that's why Transmorphers can fry in hell for all I care. And that's it. And that's it. So, what are your thoughts on Transmorphers and the comments below? Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Before I go, I did do a post. And it was way before this, because it's like beginning of April I'm posting this. But I had to have decided, for personal reasons, to go back to a 13-episode season for Tubi Tuesdays. Personal reasons, because I've been having to go help my mom more a little bit lately, so it's easier for me to have it shortened. And also, it's just going to be easier also to free my time up on the channel. Because I realize I have to do Juniversal as well, and that's every day in June. It's going to take up a lot of my time. I think about starting that in April, because it may not be too late to do that. So April-ish, depending. And again, that's all about what goes on. My mom, the cancer's, like, the mass is still there, but like, she's cancer-free, technically. She's got a bunch of other shit I'm not going to go into. She's had a gallbladder out. So that's a problem. She's got other problems. It's just, and she needed my help. And my son was sick, so it was just me this past weekend. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.